Law of sines. This law will be used whenever you want to solve triangles that are not right triangles. Okay, which triangles? Well, you can use it whenever you have two angles of a triangle and a side, or you can use it when you have two sides and an angle that's opposite one of the sides. For this video, we're only going to discuss this case, okay? In another video, we will cover this other one. This other one is a little bit more complicated. So for this one, any two angles and a side, we abbreviate this by saying a triangle that's angle, angle, side, or angle, side, angle, okay? So whenever we have this situation in a triangle that's not a right triangle, we can use the law of sines. And this is what the law of sines looks like. You can write side A over the sine of angle A will equal side B over the sine of angle B equals side C over the sine of angle C. And you might also see this written differently. You might also see it written as sine angle A over A equal sine angle B over B equal to sine angle C over C. It's equivalent. They're identical. Okay, so don't worry about how you're going to use this. Make sure you keep it. Don't mix them. Don't say sine A over A is equal to B sine of B, because that would be wrong. Okay? Okay, so let's do an example. Here's the example I want you to do. Example 1. We're going to do this case, angle, angle, side. I tell you that we have triangle ABC, and I give you this information. I say the measure of angle A is equal to 48. The measure of angle B is equal to 22 degrees. And I also tell you that side A is equal to 5. And you have to solve the triangle, which means you have to find all the missing dimensions of the triangle. So let's draw this triangle. Let me grab a triangle here. Here's a triangle. Okay, and we're going to label it. Let's label this triangle with the information given. Before we do that, label your vertices. You can start anywhere you want with letter A. I'm going to start here, A, B, C. Doesn't matter how you choose this order. What does matter is how you place this information. So angle A, 48 degrees. Angle B, 22 degrees, and side A. Side A is the side across angle A. So this is side A. A is 5. Side B is the side across angle B. This is B. Side C is the side across angle C. Okay? And there we've labeled everything. Okay? Now, notice this triangle is angle, angle, side, which is this first case we said we were going to discuss. Okay, so since it's angle, angle, side, I can use the law of sines. So this is what we're going to do first. The first thing that pops out to me is I have two angles. It's very, very easy to find this third angle. Okay, and how do we find the measure of angle C? Well, the measure of angle C is going to be equal to 180 because I know that all three of these angles, if I add them together, I have to have 180. So 180 minus the angles that are given, the sum of the angles that are given, will tell me what angle C is. So 180 minus 70. The measure of angle C is equal to 110 degrees. So this is 110. There you go. Okay, we're done with all the angles. Now what's missing is sides B and C. And we're going to solve for those now. So I'm going to start solving for B. So B, sine of B, equals. Now I'm going to equal this to, I can equal this to A, sine of A, or to B, sine of B. But if I choose B sine of B, I'm going to have, I'm sorry, not B sine of B, C sine of C. Erase that. Okay, I can go ahead and equal this to A sine of A or C sine of C. Which of the two do I choose? You choose the one that has both pieces of information, that you do know the side, how long it is, and you know the angle. Because if you choose C sine of C, you will have an unknown value of C and also an unknown value of B. You have two unknowns. You're not going to be able to solve it. So I'm going to equal this to A sine of A. Okay, so this is the equation I'm going to use, and now I'm going to fill in the information in this equation. So B, I don't have, that's what I'm looking for, so I leave as B. Sine of B, I can write sine of angle B, which is 22. And that equals A. A is 5, so 5 over sine of A, which is the sine of angle A, which is the sine of 48. Okay? And now we have to isolate B. To isolate B, I can cross multiply sine of 22 times 5, or I can multiply both sides by sine of 22. I like to cross multiply. So B will be equal to 5 times the sine of 22 divided by the sine of 48. Okay? And B will equal 2.5. In your calculator, make sure that your calculator is in degree mode. Okay? So that you'll have the correct answer. Okay. Now, we're going to look for C. Okay? Let's look for C. So if I want to find C, this is what you do. C sine of C. And again, I'm going to equal this to a value that I have the angle and the opposite side to, the angle. Okay, so I'm going to use A again. I'm going to use A sine of A. I don't use B because B I had to find, and notice I wrote 2.5. This number is not precise. It's not as precise as the one they gave me, okay? So I like to use the original information as much as I can, okay? Sometimes we do need to use the other information, but if you can use the original information, it's better. So let's fill in C over the sine of angle C, and angle C is 110, equals A, which is 5, over the sine of 48. So when we isolate C, again, I'm going to cross multiply here. C is going to equal 5 times the sine of 110 degrees divided by the sine of 48. And C is equal to 6.3. I wrote it with 1 decimal place. Usually the problems will say round off your answers to the nearest whole. That means just your whole number. If it says round off your answers to the nearest tenth, then you round it off to the first decimal place. Okay, and there you have your triangle all solved. This is 2.5 and this is 6.3. And you're done. In our next video, we're going to see this second case, angle, side angle. Okay, so I'll see you then.